Hello guys, my name is Colin. I'm just some old bloke who'd like to share his impressions with the DJI Neo. So this comes straight out of the box. I have hand launched it using the follow mode on medium, just to give you some idea of how it handles that. To signal 15 miles an hour, I lift my right hand up, showing my 5 fingers. I did intend to put a digit up on the left for every 1 mile an hour after that, but as you can see, generally around the 14 or 15 mile an hour mark, it lost track. Currently on the coast-to-coast path indicated on the right. This takes us from Workington or Whitehaven on the west all the way across to the coast on the northeast, either in Sunderland, which is where I live, or a little bit further up in Tynemouth. So one thing I want to point out in the video, it's very early on the morning. I am travelling west to northeast and the sun is very low in the sky. It's just turned autumn now, and as you can see, the footage is kind of blinding. The camera's not holding up to it, and this is causing the Neo itself to lose me. You will see this several times whilst I'm riding along this path. One of the best things for me about the Neo is the fact it can be hand launched or voice activated. This is absolutely brilliant. Anyhow, the downfall of that is you can't adjust any of the exposure settings. It doesn't save them unless you use the remote. So plan your journey. I would say plan your journey so you've got the sun behind you, off to one side. This is what I do very shortly. I gave up because the fact I was getting stopped so many times with the sun hitting me, and I planned a better route. If anyone is wondering how the Neo copes without having object detection and avoidance, some of the paths I took this down were very, very challenging. This one in particular. This is a very long and steep set of stairs. I am around about 4 foot lower. As you can see, my head is well below where it normally is, yet the camera manages no problem. It's very overgrown, yet the Neo just happily sits behind me, doing its job. Back again, it's now midday, the sun's a little higher. I've chose a route that is a little bit more forgiving for the camera. So what you see here is full auto. It's how it is when you hand launch it. You have no options whatsoever. Now the Neo doesn't have any collision avoidance or detection, but it has a couple of little tricks up its sleeve I'm about to show. Very shortly I'll be coming to kind of a hairpin turn, so you'll notice the drone carries on and takes that same line as what I did. So although it doesn't have that collision avoidance, it cleverly just looks at the route I'm taking and mirrors it, hence round the lamppost. So here's a really tricky part coming up now. It's about now you're going to think, well, what about all these low branches hanging down? Well, again, the camera's looking at me. It does a little dip in the same places I actually dropped my head. Very clever. Simple, but clever. Around this point I thought to myself, this is getting a little easy. So a little route I regularly do is up through the trees here, where the kids have made a path down to the school. It doesn't actually give justice to how tight parts of this path is, but here we go. As we come round this bend, a little glance to the left, I say, ooh, there's an opportunity. So rather than heading out into the open, making it a little bit too easy for the Neo, I thought, right, let's give this a go. So we're now 10 minutes in, 11 minutes if you count the cuts, and no dramas yet. This just ahead of us is about the first time it kind of lost track a little. I'm kind of thinking that is luck more than judgment from the drone, but nevertheless I'll take it. Quick left and right across the road. Don't like going on roads very often, but needs must on that occasion. Remembering that the drone is on auto as you take off, there's no setting I can do with exposure as we've explained. You'll see this flashing, I'm heading direct into the sun again, although it is a little bit more overhead than it was last time. I don't know if it's the new top I have on, the bright yellow top, that's helping. I don't know if it's the fact that the sun is a little higher. Yes, that constant little flashing from the top right is annoying, but generally you've got to admit, guys, what a super little piece of kit for what it is. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, the electric unicycle. What on earth am I doing riding one of those? You say to yourself. Well, it's a long story, but basically on my 60th birthday, I treated myself to an electric unicycle. After a while, after I falled off, after I broke my arm, after I'd done a few ribs, I managed to stay on it long enough not to hurt myself. This is number 2 of 3 electric unicycles I've had in the past 3 years. My latest one is a roughy tufty off-roader with suspension. I may get that out at some point. It needs a service, so that's tucked away until that gets sorted. Throughout this journey, which has been very nice, albeit a little bit relaxed, I normally go 2 or 3 times the speed of this. I've tried to keep it below 15 so as not to lose or let the drone be left behind. Battery wise, around about 16 minutes with cuts. I think it's probably nearing the end. I'll shortly be coming to the end of this part of the ride because I need to cross a couple of major roads, and then we'll continue on. I'll let you know where the battery was. Here we are at the end, and only the second time the drone has been a little confused. If I kept up on my wheel it would have flown towards me, no problem. But I decided to step off, hence the drone dropping down, and there we have it. Yes, I was pretty much right. That was the first battery just about gone. I'd approximate 17 minutes, which I think is absolutely amazing. So we've popped the second battery in, we're on the loop home along the river. Enjoy a little. For anyone interested, this is still the coast to coast, west to east, and at the moment we're going along the edge of the river where a lot of Sunderland shipbuilding was done way back in the centuries. All gone now, but there's still remnants here and there with lots of plaques explaining things, who all these different buildings were and what went on where. Well worth a little trip down here. So riding a unicycle is a lot like skiing in a way. You get into where you feel you're starting to carve. So you see me here going from side to side. Note how the drone is kind of following me. It gives you some idea of what it's doing to avoid any obstacles in front of me. Again, might not look it, but I'm getting a bit carried away with my speed. But a little journey back, here it comes to meet me, and off we go again. Albeit this is not the first time I've filmed myself on the unicycle, as I've used the Insta360 stick before. However, would I say it's easier? Yes, I would. Would I say it's more fun? Yes, I would. What about quality? Now, I'm not sure on that one. I do have a video I'll try and put up alongside to give you some idea what an Insta stick can and can't do. Now, I know the Neo does many different shots. It does a direction shot, so it takes me from the front. You can film from the side, and you can do many other things using the remote or your phone. If I was holding my phone in my hands, I'd like to try and master those things. I'm not the best filmographer. We've learnt that from the beginning. Totally going up against the sun, that was a no-no. Many occasions where the camera lost me, I haven't shown them, but literally half a dozen times easily every time the sun flashed. So now it's been faultless. I'm on my second battery. I'm 25 minutes in or so into the run, and everything has been pretty flawless. Big question on everyone's lips. Is the DJI Neo worth buying? Hell yes. I would even go so far to say just get the basic drone itself. It's very capable. You may not have all the features that you can get with the remote, but you can use your phone, and it does let you do some of the options. So if you sat on the fence, get off that fence now and get one ordered. Well worth a mention, if you haven't flown a drone before and you're worried, bear in mind this is my first hour flying the drone. I did take it out the box. I had a little fly in the back garden. I took it out to the front garden and flew it over the top of the house. Literally 15 minutes flying. I then learnt the modes on a field quickly, the various things you can do with the droney, with the helix, with the follow. And then I literally next year came out, and this is what you see is what you get. This is my first hour of filming. Well, we've come to the end of our journey now. Quite a journey, quite a day. We've had great weather for it, thank goodness. I know these things can suffer wind. I've yet to take it out in wind, so maybe I'll do a little video on that. One thing's for sure, I've thoroughly enjoyed my little morning out with the Neo. We're 2 minutes in and the battery is about to die, so it's going to cut short this run now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Give me a like. Any questions? Ask me, see if I can help. If I could sum the DJI Neo up in one word, what would it be? Awesome.